Hello, hello, and welcome to PD in your PJs. I'm so excited to be here with you to talk about Seesaw's newest feature, the improvements to announcements and messages. You should hear me talking now. I do want you to know that we're recording this session and you will receive that recording in an email shortly after we conclude the presentation. We'll also share the slides, and that's the best part because you can go back through those at your convenience and take a closer look at all of the resources we've included. So those are coming to you in an email as well in just a couple of hours. Quick introduction before we get into our topic tonight. My name is Julie. I'm on the teacher community team at Seesaw. I'm actually just out of the high school ELA classroom where I was a teacher for 18 years. Go ahead and find me on Twitter. You can find me at EdTechJulieJ. I'd love it if you gave me a follow because I share lots of tips and ideas about Seesaw. And of course, you can connect with our whole team on Twitter at Seesaw. Now, I want to tell you that we're not really going to be talking in this session about getting started with Seesaw or about how to set up a class or how to connect families to your class for the first time. So if you are in need of those kinds of resources, please visit ideas.seesaw.me. So here's what we've all been waiting for, though. Now, for the first time ever, you can add photos, videos, PDFs, links, and more to the announcements and messages you may already be sending in Seesaw. So you've maybe been sending announcements to your students and your connected family members, or maybe you even use private messages, and now you can actually attach all of those items to an announcement or message. So it's really exciting news, and we know our community is really ready to get going with this new feature. Remember, and I'll walk you through this here in a demonstration in just a minute, but remember you're starting with that green add button, the plus or the add button, and you choose send announcement. And you've seen this. This looks familiar. This is always what announcements has looked like, where you under send to, you choose families or students or both. But now you see this plus button where you can add an attachment. And the really neat thing is you can choose something from one of any of these built-in tools that you and your students are already using in Seesaw. So real quick, just to remind you, you hit that plus add attachment, and then you have all of these options as far as what type of attachment to add. But I know you want to see what that looks like in action. So let me go out of full screen here and take you into a demonstration class. Okay, so this is a demo class that we use for trainings like this one. So I'm just playing around in this class to kind of walk through the steps for how you're going to do this if you're going to do this in your own class. Okay, remember, like I said, you're going to start with that add button. And just a quick reminder, we are in journal view. I'll show you what that looks like from the inbox later, but we're in journal view. Add button, send announcement. Okay, so we're sending an announcement. And now I'm going to make the decision of who I want to send that announcement to, all students, all family members, or both. I'm going to choose family members. I have some space here where I can type. Okay, so I can type a note or a message there, type text, but now I can add an attachment. And so I have some things I can pull up here if I click like add file, for example, and you guys can tell that I'm modeling this from the web. It would look slightly different if you were, say, doing it on a tablet or an iPad. I'm doing it from the web, but this way I can drop a file, I can take a photo that I've added here. It's just one of the slides I'm showing you tonight is the photo I'm adding. I'm always going to click that green check mark in Seesaw. So I've added my photo, which, like I said, is just a photo from one of the slides I'm using tonight. But now look at all these annotation tools that are going to pop up, just like the things you would see if you were adding to the journal. So I could draw on top of that. I could add labels. I could add a caption. So all of those same Seesaw features that you're used to are popping up here as well. Green check mark when you're done. And then as you're thinking about using this in your own classroom, you kind of notice that you can type the text message here, but you also have this photo added, which you could have captioned if you wanted to. So lots of opportunities here to communicate with family members. And then, of course, after I've clicked my green check marks all the way through, then I'm going to tell it that I'm ready to send. Okay, so I have now sent this announcement to family members, and you can see it showing up there. Okay, so that's showing up as a family announcement. I could click student announcement to see all the ones I've sent to students. Okay, so you can click back and forth there in the inbox tab. And like I said, I'll show you how to send an announcement from the inbox screen too. So remember, if I'm in journal, I can go plus send announcement. But if I'm in inbox, I can go down here and click this button to send an announcement. Or if I want to send it to students, I can go there. Okay, so you can send from either the journal or the inbox view. Something else I should show you real quick while we're in this demo class is that I can private message from the inbox view as well. So if I want to private message one of these parents, I'm picking this pretend parent, Beth. If I want to private message her, I can do that from the inbox by clicking her name, and then I go down here and type a message to her. Just for the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to type a little bit of text, but then I'm going to show you, you can, add another file type. We didn't do this one before. I could even send her a drawing if I wanted to. Okay, just for the sake of this demonstration. Again, I have options for annotating here, green check mark, and then I'm going to say send. Okay, so you would find lots of relevant ways to use that with your own students in your classroom, or your connected family members, I should say. Okay, so we saw it in action, but let me just remind you about a couple of other things. The announcements and messages are not added to student journals. So we think that's a great thing to remember when you're thinking about things like permission slips or newsletters, other kinds of forms, things that you really don't need saved forever in a student Seesaw journal. A great way now to get those to family members is to send that through an announcement or a message, okay? So if you do attach a photo or a video, remember that's not saved permanently in the student's journal. I think this is the most exciting thing too, is that now for the first time, a connected family member can send you a picture or a video back, for example. So, this is going to help you as you're thinking about how you want to enhance communication with families. You want to see some things your kiddos are doing from home, for example. Families can now message you back with one of those types of items. So I've been thinking in the last few weeks about snow days and how many students have not been in school. They've been out of school a day or two for a snow day, and teachers want to stay connected to those kids when they're home. This would be a great way for a parent or a family member to document what a student was doing on their holiday break or break from school or snow day, sending a picture back to the teacher. Again, nothing that would have to be saved forever in a student journal, but what a fun, expressive way, and a way to enhance the communication you're having between school and home. Okay, a couple of additional reminders. You do need to send an announcement or message first. That's going to kind of start the process, and then from then on, family members can reply back to you as a private message. I just need to remind you about that, because if you have never used announcements and messages, you're going to need to send something first so that family members can start messaging you back. Also, a reminder that students can receive announcements from you, but they can't message you back, and they can't message each other from Seesaw. Something else to consider too, now that you have this option to send an announcement to all of your connected families, you might not have a need to be posting things like a newsletter, for example, to the journal and tagging it to everyone. You could send it through the announcement now, because if you're creating a digital newsletter like many teachers do, that can go through an announcement now. Okay, so another way to think about that is that inbox is where you're going to be having most of your teacher-driven communication, your teacher-to-family communication. If a student is creating something, if it's a student creation, you probably want to get that in the journal. Otherwise, it's not going to be saved permanently. Remember, if you're taking a photo of a student, for example, and you're sending it home to the family as a message, that's not going to stay in the student's journal. So you definitely want a student to post it in their own journal if you think it's something you want to be saved and preserved there. Okay, so inbox for communication, journal for student creation is kind of a good way to think about it. I did want to include this for you. We're not going to take time to watch it during our presentation, but I did want to include a tutorial video for you. If you were in a situation where you needed to explain to family members how this worked, or how they could use messages and to send you a photo and stuff like that, you could play this video for them. This is a tutorial, and I just wanted to include a link to that or embed it here for you so you could use that resource if that was helpful for you. I'm excited about this new feature, and I want to hear from you, our community members, how you're using it. It will be so fun and rewarding to hear how family members are getting into it as well, and what kind of photos or videos or other creations they're sending back to you. So don't hesitate to reach out to us and tell us how that's working for you and how you're using it. You can connect with me on Twitter, like I said, at EdTechJulieJ, or share those things with us at Seesaw. Reminder, you can also get involved with our community with Seesaw Chat on Twitter on the second and fourth Thursdays, or you can follow us on Instagram and even join Seesaw teachers and the grade level specific groups on Facebook. This was so exciting to reveal to you tonight. I can't wait to see how you're using it. Don't hesitate to reach out to us if you have questions, and please join us again for PD Again really soon. Thanks so much for coming. Bye-bye.